Hello Division Agents. Today's Iron Horse guide is for new and returning players. This video covers the third boss. Let's get started. For this encounter, you'll need one tank with hazard protection, a future initiative healer, and one additional DPS player, preferably with hazard protection to help with mechanics. The rest of the team can stay on DPS. The first thing the tank needs to do is go up the chain and start the diagnostics. During diagnostics, the tank must hold the button and cannot perform any other actions. In front of the tank are three signs: pressure, electricity, and fire. We usually refer to them by their colors: blue, yellow, and red. Either callout works. The tank must call out which sign is active. In this example, yellow is active. The order changes each run, but the process remains the same. That means the healer needs to be on the ground floor at the yellow panel and interact with it while the tank runs diagnostics. Once the healer interacts with the panel, the tank will hear an alarm and must jump all the way down. After landing, he should immediately head back up the chain to start diagnostics again. He must be running diagnostics before the next color appears. The next color is blue. This means the healer moves from the yellow panel to the blue panel and stays on standby. When blue is active, the DPS player goes up the chain and jumps down to the second floor, while the tank remains on the third floor. On the second floor, the DPS player needs to locate 3 valves with steam and interact with all 3. After that, the healer can interact with the blue panel. When this happens, both the tank and the DPS player hear the alarm and must jump down. The DPS player stays down while the tank rushes back up and starts diagnostics again. Yellow becomes active again. The healer moves back to the yellow panel and stays on standby. While this happens, all players except the tank, healer, and DPS player need to move from the platform to the ground floor, spread out, and find 3 electrical boxes with sparks. They must interact with them as quickly as possible. The DPS player checks the third and second floors for electrical boxes as well. Once all 3 electrical boxes are completed, the healer activates the yellow panel. The tank and DPS player hear the alarm and jump down. The DPS player stays down to kill enemies, while the tank goes back up to run the final diagnostics. This time, fire is active. The healer moves from yellow to red and activates the panel as quickly as possible. If the tank is too slow to activate diagnostics and red is next, the tank will not be able to interact with the diagnostics panel. If this happens, one of the players below must find a red valve where fire is escaping. Turning this valve off stops the fire at the top and allows the healer to interact with the panel. The tank can be late when electricity or pressure is active. You'll know the diagnostics phase is finished when you see steam coming out. Once that happens, you no longer need to run diagnostics. The tank should go to the second floor to turn the red valves. We recommend starting from the entrance. It's a good idea to have a DPS player stay at the bottom to tell the tank when to stop turning the valve, since it needs to be aligned. Once aligned, the DPS player must shoot the light to expose the lava. They then need to DPS the lava and move on to the next one. There are 3 lava spots total, and all 3 must be destroyed. After all 3 lavas are destroyed, the DPS player or tank can go up to the third floor using the chain and locate a screen with letters. Everything on the screen must be in middle, so the player looking at the screen needs to tell the player below how to adjust it. If a letter is red, it needs to go down. If a letter is yellow, it needs to go up. Every letter must be blue. The player on the platform can see the alphabet and the red valves with plus and minus signs. Find the letter that needs adjusting, then shoot the top to move it down, or shoot the bottom to move it up. You'll see the room dim in brightness. This is the signal that everyone needs to go up the chain. Once everyone is up, you can DPS the turrets and the boss. If the boss jumps down to the ground floor, the tank should also go down, take aggro, and position the boss in a spot that makes it easy for the team to shoot. After the boss is killed, it will drop a key. The tank must pick up the key and go back up the chain. Meanwhile, the other players at the top need to go down quickly to each color red, blue, and yellow and interact with each panel. Once the tank inserts the key into emergency shutdown, located next to diagnostics, players have 20 seconds to reach each color panel and interact with them. For more guides and other content, check out the website linked in the description and join our Discord community. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the Division.